I did not think Kyoko would get that type of characterization in this episode of March Comes In Like a Lion. But hold that thought, before I get into that, I just want to say we got a title drop with this episode, or at the very least a hint towards a title drop, because there was the Lion King tournament mentioned in this episode. And FYI, if you don't understand the English title of this series, March Comes In Like a Lion, March comes in like a lion, Lion King tournament, connection, right there. So, title drop. I think now we can all understand why this series is called March Comes In Like a Lion. Now that I've said that, though, let's get into Kyoko. So Kyoko's character takes a very surprising turn with this episode, because from what this series has tried to show us thus far, besides this episode, it's tried to show us that Kyoko is someone that's very despicable. She's like poison. She is someone that poisons the very air around Rei, our main male character, and she is someone, honestly, you shouldn't even want to be around at all because of the way she acts and treats you. And so when Rei is still around her, we're constantly, scratching her head. Why? Why do you not say truthfully what you want to say? But on top of that, why do you still put up with her? It's a question many of us have, thought about since her introduction, and also how she manages to act towards Rei. Now with this episode, we get another side to her character and why she acts like she does. Now, granted, we do know the reason why she's upset in the first place and why she would be poisonous towards Rei is because of how she had to give up Shogi. She was told by her own father, and also Rei put her in that position and made it to where she had to give up Shogi. And so obviously if something like that happens, you're gonna hold a grudge. I mean, that doesn't just go away. It doesn't. I mean, if you had your whole life planned out for something and someone fucks you over, you're probably gonna hold that grudge. 9 times out of 10, you probably will. I'm just be point blank with you. So the way she acts, it makes sense. Some might call her petty, and maybe she is. But still, I can understand why she would be angry. However, I still will say she is very poisonous when it comes to just the atmosphere she brings when she is around. However, this episode tries to show another perspective. It tries to show how frail she is, how she is someone that has self-pity. She is someone that, honestly, she wants to act like she's strong, but the reason why she acts like she does is because she is so broken. And the reason why she's so broken is thanks to the actions of Rei and her father. And so, to kind of retaliate against them, she decided to meet someone like Goto. Go with him, be in love with him, want to hang out around him. And at the same time, the reason why she torments Rei is because of what he did. And I think most likely the reason why Rei puts up with it is because he probably blames himself. But I do like the perspective of what Rei even stated in this episode. He stated that there's no way he can help her at all. Like, there's just no way he can help her if he can't help himself first and get himself on his own 2 feet. And this is something I've seen from another series that I truly love, and many of you might already know what I'm going to say, but if you know about Tokyo Ghoul, there's a certain saying in Tokyo Ghoul: learn to protect yourself before you can protect others. And that kind of can be applied to this episode. Rei realized that there's just no way he could support or help someone, fix the glass that is already broken if he can't even fix his own glass that is broken. Rei is already a broken character. He's already been shown time and time again throughout the journey of March Comes In Like a Lion that he has a very emotionless world. He doesn't really know how to perceive a lot of things, and he's lonely. And it's something that has been a main focus of the series. And so he realizes this, which shows you why he decided to move on and be by himself, but on top of that, why he still acts like he does towards her. He's wanting to be able to become strong. He's wanting to be able to live on his own. He wants to become independent because once he can, he wants to fix and correct the mistakes that he caused Kyoko. And I respect that. I respect that about Rei's character and how he actually realizes what is wrong with him and how he needs to fix himself before he can fix anyone else. It's like this. I mean, let's just say a very extreme example. Let's say you want to help someone out that's lost a leg, okay? But you're lost 2 legs. and you need to get over, losing both two legs, because you just had that happen while this person just lost one leg. Obviously, you cannot help that one person out that just lost their leg, even if they're a close friend or a family member, if you can't even help your own self out. You need to first live with what you got before you can go helping someone else out. Now, as I said, very extreme example, but the point stands is that Ray cannot go out of his way to help someone that's broken. Even if he wants to, it won't help at all, because he can't even help himself right now, and that's what he's been trying to do. So, good job, Ray. As a character, I respect you even more after that, for you to be even able to realize what is wrong with you before you even try to, correct your mistakes. That is the path of correction, and a path of realizing how to be a changed person and better yourself. To realize the mistakes you have made, and to realize that you need to honestly fix what is probably wrong with you, or understand why you're broken. So, Ray, definitely a good character. I respect him so much more after this episode of March Comes In Like a Lion, and honestly, I cannot wait to see more from him in the future episodes, especially after this development. And once again, go back on Kyoko before I end, talking about her. I like how frail she was in this episode, how it showed how broken she was, and how different she was compared to this strong-willed woman that was poisoned constantly throughout the episodes. So March Comes In Like a Lion does a very different contrast to her character from what we've seen thus far. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the slugfest we saw going on with Shimada, and that... oh my god, that slugfest was brutal. Now, I'm not someone that really knows how to play shogi. I'm just gonna be point blank. I don't know how to play shogi. I don't know the individual pieces. I know how to play chess. I'm good at chess, but I don't know shogi, and I can't play it. So, obviously, some of the messages that are displayed in shogi, I won't, get. It'll just fly over my head. I'll be like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, what's this piece supposed to mean? What's that mean with the character doing something like this? Honestly, I won't understand it. Point blank. However, I can even see it as someone that doesn't know about shogi. I can understand that that match was absolutely brutal. Number one, it was an 11-hour match. That's fucking ridiculous. And let's put this in perspective. 11 hours is almost overtime, like complete overtime, because usually if you have, an 8-hour shift, that's regular. That's a regular shift of work, just 8 hours. But then overtime, you can get up to like 12-hour shift. And that was 11 hours. That's a lot of time to be sitting down. Just imagine sitting in one spot. Just think about yourself right now. Imagine sitting in one spot for 11 hours. 11 hours, that's a long time sitting down like that. And then on top of that, having all these thoughts racing in your mind of how you're having to fight this man, even if it doesn't look like it's something that's that intense the way you're looking at it, you gotta imagine what's going on inside the mind. Just their minds are racing, they're having to figure out how they can outsmart their opponent, just beat them, and when you felt the power, when they laid down the pieces, it was just emphasis on how much weight they carried on their shoulders and how much this match really meant to them, and honestly how skilled they are as players to be able to go up against each other like that, just to have a slugfest just beating the shit out of each other. And it's not something you would normally see. You would usually see how one side would have the advantage and they would be trying to slowly overtake someone, but in this case it was both sides equal. They were equals. They were on level ground, and they had to just hit each other until one finally just broke. That's exactly what happened. It's like just having two big, sticks, just bashing them up against each other, and until one just snaps in half. That's what happened here, and that's what resulted in one of them losing and one of them winning. They just kept hitting each other until one of them finally just gave in because they couldn't take it anymore. And, I mean, you gotta imagine how much stamina you would lose from actually having a match that long. I mean, number one, if you're sitting that long, you're probably gonna have to take a piss. You're gonna have to take a piss. No question about it. You're gonna have to feel like, oh shit, I need to go use the bathroom. Or you're gonna want to just move around because your legs are probably sore as hell. I mean, you even see a lot of emphasis on this towards the end of the episode when Shimada gets out and you see how he's shaking and all that, and it seems like he's weakened because that's just how stressful the match was. So, even though I don't know shogi, even though I can't appreciate everything about it, I can appreciate this episode for, at the very least, giving me a lot of emotions with how the players were when it came to displaying shogi. So, good episode of March Comes In Like a Lion. I cannot wait to see what happens next, and I truly love all the development we got in this episode, even with Nikaido. I love seeing his development and how he actually admits why he treats Ray so much with respect, and also why he likes him, why he wants to help him out too, is because Ray helped him realize the truth about his life and what he wanted to do with his life, and so he wants to do the exact same thing for his friend. So, good job, Nikaido. You're a good man for that. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.